If you've watched my last vlog, you know how hard it was to get here. But starting my master's degree in a new country brought challenges I never expected. Hard decisions had to be taken, suffering had to be experienced. Life decided that it was going to life, and I was going to go through that. The first semester hit me like a ton of bricks. You have the culture shock, you have the academic pressure, and loneliness. All of that hits you at once.
Jacob Ehi-Okose.
Welcome, guys, to 22. Another episode of 22 jobless Nigerian in Canada. It's a winter snow day, as you can see. I don't even know if you can see. Can you see? I hope you can see, because you need to see. This is the great Canada. You can't sell abroad to me. I'm telling you, you could dress it up how you want, but the fact that we have to do this at 6 p.m. is not, this just doesn't seem fun to me. I think it was harder for me to make new friends because I have a very quaint idea of fun. It's very simple. I like to stay at home, watch a movie, eat good food. That's relaxing to me. Anything outside that is just stressful, and unnecessarily so. But most extroverted people enjoy going out and having new experiences. So that was the first hurdle. How do you meet people if you're always in your room, if you're always by yourself, if you enjoy your space? How do you connect if you don't particularly enjoy the activities and you're conservative? The answer is you don't. You remain isolated because the people that are like you are also in isolation. They're not coming out. Nobody's coming out to find you. So on one hand, I feel like I could have probably attended a few more hangouts, I guess. But on the other, I have no regrets about it because those events are usually extremely vain, pretentious, and unnecessarily political. People who don't like each other decide to go out for drinks. What good can come out of that if the elephant in the room isn't addressed? And it's pretty obvious. Like you can tell they don't like each other because there are consistent whispers of themes no one will ever admit to, but we all hear. Words spoken in silence, but loud enough to awaken tension in all of us. So, did I have a bias to being alone? Yes, most definitely, but I think solitude is a better alternative to the lie. And the lie in this case being going out with people who clearly don't want to be there and pretending everything is fine. In terms of culture shock, I think the biggest adjustment was the transition to informal interaction. In Nigeria, our idea of respect is attached to character and more associated with title. So it's in the way we dress, it's in the way we communicate, it's the very essence of our society. Essentially, respect is something given and not earned, and that is the expectation. We can sort of trace the faulty ideology to pre-colonial Africa. Like within pre-colonial structures, society existed for decades without formal hierarchies, with equal access to land and river for all, in a way that resembles forms of egalitarianism and socialism. So that led to the idea of equal ownership for everything, including lives of children. Ergo, it takes a child it takes a village to train a child. And in some sense, they were right, but it breeds entitlement because everyone is walking around demanding respect from individuals younger than them, rather than earning it. And you can feel it in the conversations again. Like I think I had an interaction with someone recently who was in Nigeria. He was supposed to help me do something, and I didn't know the individual. It was a connection. Someone had connected me to the person. I didn't know who the person was. I just reached out to the person and I said hello, and then I put his name, and he replies me with, "You don't even know who I am. You can do better than this. Why you address me by my name? Kinikon." I just said complete barrage. And keep in mind, this person is supposed to render me a service. I'm supposed to pay for the service. And so I'm just there thinking, what is going on here? I don't know you, you don't know me. we haven't met. Why do you feel so entitled to, what's the word, attributed respect? And so there's a part of me on the one hand that is going, maybe that interaction um could have gone a bit smoother if I was more in tune with Nigerian culture, seeing as I've been out of the system for a while. But at the end of the day, when you logically examine it, it's your name, bro. Like, I called you by your name and I wasn't disrespectful. So why all this? Why do you feel entitled? Why do you want to hear the sir? I had no idea who you were. I was just giving your phone number as the idea that you could run help me run a service, and I would pay for that service. So why do I have to address you with sir in a formal setting? I don't know you. Well, I do know your name. You don't know me either. So it's the same energy. It's that idea of power that sits at the very top. Nigeria answers the question of what happens to a society where the men are no longer motivated to earn the respect of the people. It's always giving. Anyways, this is an unnecessary tangent. The point is that in the West it's different. You address people by their first name because you don't know them, and the respect is distant but mutual, with a strong understanding of where power truly lies in the hierarchy. So you can call your boss by his first name, but it doesn't really change the fact that he's your boss, and you know that, right? So culture, loneliness, financial worries because finding a job is not as straightforward as they paint it to be. And these are the things that you have to grapple with when you come. You see Nigerians that are qualified professionals back home, they come here and they start working minimum wage cleaning jobs, warehouse jobs, working at fast food spots, And the question is, all at what cost? An unfortunate relegation because our fatherland has failed the people and the people have in turn failed it. So it gets very, very difficult when you see what is really going on here and then no one tells you about it. More so when you start to experience it for yourself. All of this made the nausea of homesickness almost palpable. I would imagine that I was back home, everything real except the heat. I would stay in that place. My feet would touch the earth. My eyes would meet my people. And maybe there would be peace. I started to consider if I made the right choice. You wonder at those difficult times. You think you're a first-class graduate from arguably the best university in your country. You're intelligent. At the very least, you're not stupid. You're studying at the top university in the country, in Canada. And still, there's no room for you here. No one begging on their knees for you. That is the reality, and it's bitter. It's terribly sordid. And Nigerians here will color it, They will suffer. I saw a video by this guy Gilmore, and he was like, it was funny. Obviously, it was funny because it's Gilmore, but he was like, Nigerians working for 12 months so they can flex in dirty December. Working abroad for 12 months so they can flex in dirty December. And he essentially was like cleaning toilets, and he was saying he's going to paint the whole 15 houses in 15 minutes, stuff like that. And all those things are funny. Like, it's funny to see, but it's true. Like, the Nigerians that, not all of them, obviously there are people that are relatively comfortable in the country, so it's not all of them, but the Nigerians, I won't say a good chunk of them, that come back in December and flex on everybody. They flex on you, they flex on me. Those people have most likely worked odd jobs the entire year, and then they'll come, they'll go to the clubs, they'll buy bottles, they'll be with the prettiest girls, and they'll go around with police, they'll go around with rented cars, and you're like, these guys are living the life. Some of them, they build houses in the village, they build houses in the cities, because the exchange rate is favorable now. It's extremely favorable. It's cheaper to build a house in Nigeria now with what you're earning. If you're earning like $20,000, it's a good sum to start a house, right? So with $20,000, you could actually start a house. So it's easier to come and flex. You earn minimum wage, you go there and then you pretend. But your life for the past 11 months up until this dirty December has been nothing but difficult. And so they sell us a pipe dream, and then we proceed to play the flute because there's no other hope. That's the only hope that we have. Most Nigerians have. The reality is very different. It's very sordid. That being said, I've refused to give up. I leaned on my faith in God, found a supportive community, eventually, developed habits that helped me push through. eventually made a few friends, like-minded individuals, all aiming up, trying to make something of this chaos. I'm trying to do the hard thing and press on in spite of the chaos, I should say. So it's hard, but I guess it is doable. And for a year, my confidence had suffered. My strength seemed to have abated, withered as a result of my constant wrestling with the divine. But my resolve was stronger. It is stronger. As if God had strengthened my mind in the process. I had refused to be beaten. And all that was recognized when I graduated. It wasn't just about getting the degree. It was proof that hard work and faith can overcome anything. It became tangible. My promise to you has always been that I will say what I know to be true. I will be honest. Right now, I honestly feel like everything, all the challenges, all the mental suffering, the worries, the eventual reorientation with my faith, all of that has been worth it. Not, at least not in the pecuniary sense, but it was worth it because it has forged a desire in me to win, to never give up, to never be defeated. And so while there are no physical rewards at present, I see a cloud of rain the size of the hand of God. Like the sons of Issachar, I can discern the times. And I know that in due time there will be an abundance of gold and flour. And from this wilderness, I see the future. I see that a sea of flour will sell for a shekel, and the glory of the Lord will cover his people. That is my hope. That is where my faith is, that all is well. I guess that's what keeps me going. That those things will eventually be tangible, right? But not because the land has been easy. You will have to contend, you will have to fight. And I guess that's why I'm still so upset at the state of our nation, at the decrepit structure of our institutions, decrepit state of our institutions, I should say. Because it makes life so much more difficult, so much more challenging. And unnecessarily so. I remain pissed at the state of the world. I remain pissed at the fact that within Africa, our solution to everything is to jackpot. And I still blame the people. Still, maybe I blame myself in some sense. But we all have to take responsibility. And again, this is what this is, right? Sharing my thoughts, logging my ideas and opinions on here, and seeing what sticks, right? So, if you're a young man with big dreams, young African man with big dreams, I can help you with that journey. We will win together. That is the idea. That we eventually win together, that we share these little nuggets, and that we grow, we develop the community that's going to help us grow. So as always, subscribe, and if you're interested in more conversations on life, on faith, on leadership, on my experiences, if you're interested in an honest point of view that will prepare you for the arduous road ahead, it's not easy, but it is laden with many treasures. In the pursuit of those treasures, you will have to slay the dragon. So until next week, guys, take it easy. And next time, whenever I post another vlog. See you soon. Peace.